You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rodrance for Black and White Sports. Well, we got some couple of different news items that have come out involving Brittney Griner. Of course, she's locked up over in Russia for cannabis oil in vape cartridges that they found when she was going through customs at a Moscow airport. And I've got one news item, and then I've got a peel back the curtain reveal of what she may be staring at when she goes to labor camp. Yeah, and it is ugly. This is a story that just came out. It's about Russian labor camps, and she's about to experience some extreme uncomfortableness. Let's just put it that way. I mean, it's really bad. It's really damn bad. Brittney Griner meets with U.S. Embassy officials in Russia following failed appeal at White House, says. This is Fox News. Brittney Griner, two-time Olympic gold medalist, 8-time WNBA All-Star, met with U.S. Embassy officials in Moscow more than a week after Russian court denied an appeal of a 9-year prison sentence. By the way, far as the legal process goes, that's a wrap, okay? There's nothing else more from a legal standpoint that can be done over there. Word has it, she's about to take off to a penal colony. Griner, who was sentenced to 9 years in a penal colony in August on drug charges, is, quote, doing as well as can be expected, White House Press Secretary Karen Jean-Pierre revealed on Thursday following the meeting with U.S. officials. The State Department just confirmed that U.S. Embassy officials in Moscow are able to visit Brittney Griner today. We are told that she is doing as well as can be expected under the circumstances. Griner's wife, Cheryl, revealed in an interview this week that she spoke with the Phoenix Mercury star a week before her hearing, but noted that, quote, her mind is fading in there. Jean-Pierre said the White House continues to follow up on its, quote, significant offer to bring home Griner and Paul Whelan despite a lack of good faith negotiation by Russians. Boy, that's not good. I mean, we heard that they haven't even really acknowledged the offer. As we said before, the U.S. made a significant offer to the Russians to resolve the current unacceptable and wrongful detention of American citizens Brittney Griner and Paul Whelan. I can also tell you that in subsequent weeks, despite a lack of good faith negotiations by the Russians, the U.S. government continued to do follow-up on that offer and propose alternative potential ways forward with Russians through all available channels. This continues to be a top priority. Yikes. Sometimes when you hear it's a top priority at the government, it's also, we'll get right on that. That's not a good sign. Last week, a Russian court upheld Griner's 9-year sentence. Her attorney said after the appeal was denied that the sentence was excessive and contradictory. The verdict contains numerous defects, and we hope that the Court of Appeal would take them into consideration. We still think the punishment is excessive and contradicts the existing court practice, their statement at the time read. Griner's wife went on to say, quote, there is nothing more to expect from a legal standpoint. Now, let's get to this. This is from Reuters, and this just came out yesterday. Brittney Griner faces bleak life in Russian penal colony. And man, there's just some things we're going to highlight out of this that's pretty rough. Tedious manual work, poor hygiene, lack of access to medical care. Such are the conditions awaiting U.S. basketball star Brittney Griner in a Russian penal colony after she lost her appeal last week against a 9-year drug sentence. It's a world familiar to Maria Alyokina, a member of the feminist art assembly, Pussy Riot, who spent nearly 2 years as an inmate for her part in a 2012 punk protest in a Moscow cathedral against President Vladimir Putin. Interesting. That's how they handle unpeaceful protest over there. The first thing to understand, Alyokina said in an interview, is that a penal colony is no ordinary prison. This is not building with cells. This is a strange village. like a gulag labor camp. Holy shit. She said, referring to the vast penal network established by Soviet dictator Joseph Stalin, to isolate and crush inmates. Jesus. Quote, it is actually a labor camp because by law all prisoners should work. The quite cynical thing about this work is that prisoners usually sew police uniforms and uniforms for the Russian army, almost without salary. The colony was divided between a factory area where the prisoners made garments, gloves, and, quote, a living zone where Alokina said 80 women lived in one room with 3 toilets and no hot water. Oh, God. Whew. All right. Jesus. Griner, a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, could soon be transferred to a colony in the absence of further appeal or agreement between Washington and Moscow to swap her for the Russian arms dealer jailed in the United States, a possibility that floated months ago but has yet to materialize. In a Pussy Riot show that toured the world and is now playing in Britain, Alokina relives the memories of her time as an inmate. Snowy prison yards, plank-like beds, long spells of solitary confinement, and punishment for minor infringements such as an unbuttoned coat or poorly attached name tag. She was constantly being videoed by prison guards because I am a famous provocateur. Yeah, whatever. Who cares? Russian prison service did not reply to request for comment on this article. Holy crap. Man, let me read this part. Girls with strong athletic builds are often giving the much heavier load. For example, they load sacks of flour for a prison bakery or unload mountains of coal. Holy hell. Brittney Griner looks like she is in for a rough go of it over in Russia when she gets to that penal labor camp. And let's face it, let's be real here. She's what? 6'9", built like a man. They are going to give her the hardest jobs imaginable in that labor camp. It's going to get really, really bad for her if they do not get her out of there at some point pretty soon. Wow. That is crazy. That's a peel back the curtain. 800 women and 3 toilets and no hot water. I could say all kinds of things right there, and none of them would be good. I'll let your imagination run wild. Yikes. Ugh. Tell me what you think, black and white sports supporters. Not a lot of hope in sight for Griner, it seems. Peace, I'm out. Till next time, Black and White Network supporters, make sure you go over and check out the Black and White Network merchandise store. 25% off USA First, 25% off USA First. Go now.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.